LP SmartSide is a fast food of building materials. In this video, I'm going to present to you my case. I'm going to review the reviewers.
Obviously, this video is biased.
This video is sponsored by LP.
Do I really want to put that on my house and just put a coat of paint on it?
So we're going to look at the YouTube channels of people who promote LP SmartSide. This is Roofing Insights, channel for educated consumer. If you're looking for true information, not bias, not marketing material, this channel is for you. Our customers are the best. They subscribe to us because they know we don't hide information. We say it how it is. We don't have bias. And I'm gonna show you what YouTubers on YouTube, builders who usually get sponsored by LP, say about LP.
Howdy y'all, it's Jordan Smith. I got the distinct pleasure of hanging out with Kyle and Greg up in Chicago, and we were installing LP SmartSide. We really like this product, and this video is sponsored by LP.
Of course it is. It's sponsored by LP. Most of the reviews that I see, sponsor or not sponsor about LP, they are around the same thing. Easy of installation, how good it is for the contractor. They almost never talk about the warranty. They almost never talk about longevity. They almost never talk about huge problems and class action lawsuits from 10 years ago. Major failures in major markets that cost LP and people who purchase LP siding billions. They want you to close those eyes and not talk about that.
We were up there specifically talking about LP SmartSide, and I really like this product for a few reasons. But it's made to bend, it's made to carry, and you can also remove and replace it.
Pretty much all of this trend is what's good for us. It's, yeah, fast food, there's nothing wrong with it for the business owner. I mean, it's freaking horrible for our bodies. I mean, LP SmartSide, come on. LP SmartSide is pretty much OSB. You cannot put it on the ground for too long because it's gonna start rotted. In their warranty, they say, keep your sprinklers off the wall. And I'm gonna show you some problems with LP a little bit later. I actually like the product. There's many applications I would install LP. If I would have a doghouse, I would install it. If I would have a shed, I would install it. But the problem is all of these builders, they're switching to LP because it's better and easier for them.
I was able to pull those boards off, and they'll bend and they'll pull the nails out, but it won't break.
So, all right, so you made a mistake and you messed up. Like if you would install James Hardie, a few other products, like maybe metal siding, you can replace, remove and reinstall. The same goes for a few other products on the market, on the siding market. So there's many products you could do it. The only product you can do it is James Hardie because it's concrete. Just because you made a mistake and it's convenient for you to fix that mistake does not make the product better. It should not be the main benefit.
So you're able to remove and replace it very easily, and because it doesn't break, you save money on the job site.
You save money on a job site, and we'll tell you what these builders are doing, saving money on a job site, and what homeowners are getting, and what kind of issues brand new homeowners are discovering 5-10 years down the road because it's cheaper, it's faster, go, go, go. Good for us, not as good for you.
I can carry 16-foot long pieces, 5 of them, at a single time. That's one of the big disadvantages of fiber cement.
Again, they always compare it to James Hardie. All people, granted, this people is sponsored by LP, where this video is not sponsored by James Hardie. Haven't talked to James Hardie in years. I don't even install James Hardie anymore. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, I actually started as a siding installer. I have a huge network of siding installers here in Minneapolis. I have a lot of friends who still install siding every day. I have one of the best James Hardie installers in my network here in Minnesota. I also have a lot of LP guys. This is Coke and Pepsi battle in the industry. So their argument is easier to carry. What does it have to do with anything? So you're telling me that LP is better because I can carry more pieces on my shoulder. What does it has to do how it performs on the wall? James Hardie is a concrete. It's gonna break, obviously. But if James Hardie is better to resist the water, if it will last longer, if it's more durable, who cares that you can carry a few more pieces? You know what else is heavy? Freaking concrete. You know, do you want a more concrete for your car or you want a less concrete? Heavy is all right. We're building a house. You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of how we build our houses, that if your car touches it, and then we live in a house that if you kick it hard enough, something will break or completely disappear.
The LP SmartSide is lightweight because it's wood, but it's treated with all of the waxes and resins, and it has borate and a whole bunch of other technology in that makes it more long-lasting than just a traditional wood siding. This video is sponsored by LP.
Here's what I also like. I like good trends. We're going from fast food obesity industry, who are absolutely obsessed with the fast food, because in 50s and 60s, you know, this country, we're not talking about how bad fast food is. Now we see documentaries, we see what it really does, and more consumers are picking better options. You want to install the product just because it's easier to install. How about you show me the warranty? How about you show me the performance? What will happen if your neighbor has a fire? This one will catch on fire just like that. James Hardy is a concrete. But you're not going to talk about it because you're sponsored by LP, you do what's good for you, it's faster, it's easier to find crews. All I'm saying is just there's a lot of hypocrisy. I've seen house with a slope, you know, the very first row with a big cut, and nothing was painted. That's the biggest issue with LP. It will swell. It will absorb that water. It's a wooden product. You have to paint it. You have to prime and paint around the windows when you do those notches. Builders don't do it. You know why? Because of videos like this. Brooke Bendin says LP is oriented strand board, cheap wood, OSB will swell when at the bottom of the wall. Ask them about the complete failure of the former LB siding inner seal. Heber Garcia says, look into their warranty for LP siding. Any homeowner that gets this product installed in their home just got themselves another full-time job. And I absolutely agree. It requires tons of maintenance, something LP does not advertise. Those people who get sponsored by LP do not tell you how much work you have to do to maintain their product not to fail. Another bullshit that they have, that they say is about cancer. They say, well, when you cut James Hardy, it caused cancer, you can't breathe. Well, LP has the same thing, and done a bill here. It actually says that per the manufacturer's literature, the dust from LP is carcinogenic. It's not just wood dust. They use a lot of chemicals to make it binders and make it termite resistant. Exactly right. So those people who also say it's easier to cut, it's less dust, the same thing as James Hardy.
It's treated with all of the waxes and resins.
And pretty much the same as almost all material. Like even when you cut wood, wear the mask. You're not supposed to breathe dust. But LP is not better than James Hardy because one has a dust. LP has as much dust. And it also can cause cancer. Lots of bias in this video, sprinkled with some truth. Agree with that. The hammer test was flawed. Agree. The vast majority of US uses ASB sheeting during the wall construction.
Also, like with the Hardy, you can see that there's fiber and there's actually cement in this siding. LP SmartSide is actually made out of wood. So you can see here on the back of this trim board the strands.
The question is, do you want a wood in your house or concrete of the house? You answer to yourself, but let's see how they compare.
LP siding here, this is a 16-foot piece. It's a lot lighter, and I can literally flex this thing.
It has nothing to do with the performance. I would rather you to be a little bit more careful with a better product. I would rather eat a better meal that prepared with the fresh ingredients than something fast. It's what's good for you to throw in an oven.
And nothing's happening. It doesn't ruin the integrity.
Yeah, you just almost make your face. How about that for being careful and good?
Of this siding. Also, in regards to your installation, it said this is 16 feet and the Hardy is 12 feet. That means less seams with the LP siding and more seams, butt ends, I should say, where the two siding pieces meet with the Hardy. So you cannot use a standard saw blade to cut Hardy. You have to use a specialty blade or use some snips to cut it. And a big reason is obviously getting good cuts, but then there's a secondary thing. You don't want to be breathing in the dust.
Let's go and find really quick LP SmartSide. It was directly from the website. By the way, this video was uploaded in 2021. This is 2019, 2 years prior. Warning, drilling, sawing, sanding, or machining wood products can expose you to wood dust, a substance known to the state of California to cause cancer. Avoiding inhaling wood dust or use a dust mask or other safeguards for personal protection. You know what doesn't cause dust? Metal siding. If you would say that, ooh, how about that? Like metal siding is actually the absolute winner. Snips, cut, no dust, no nothing, and better than LP too. Will you tell that? No. You know why? Because it's a better product, it's better for your health, it's easy to repair, but you don't have a lot of installers, and it's a harder thing to do. And you're not gonna do what's harder, you're gonna do what's better for yourself.
Silicas that come off in the dust that actually are not good for your health. So be careful cutting hardy siding without a mask on. And LP is just wood, so you can cut it with any regular saw and not worry about any dust. It's just sawdust.
It's treated with all of the waxes and resins,
It's just sawdust. Another thing is the warranty. Hardy has a 30-year warranty, LP has a 50. The details on that we can dig into on another video.
5-year by LP. And by the way, James Hardie warranty comes from James Hardie. LP does not paint their own siding. So if you have a warranty with LP, freaking nightmare of nightmares, because you're gonna go to painting company and you're gonna go to LP. Yeah, you heard me right. And the maintenance, you also have to become a painter to keep caulking and make sure nothing ever will get to your siding, because it will swell, and the warranty does not cover swelling.
One thing I want to talk about is price. That is the big deal here. Price is a huge deal for everyone. There's price and efficiency.
And there's also performance, Josh, you forgot. Price and efficiency, it's not everything. There's other factors that determine what we buy.
Where we're at North Face Construction, we see about a 20 to 30% discount by using LP on our projects versus Hardie. So I'm going to do a little bit of a hammer test, just showing the resistance of each of these products and how they resist a hammer.
Wow. And what does that prove? What does it has to do with anything? You know what else will break? Slate, tile.
One other thing about these products to know is they both have the opportunity to swell up from water introduction if they're installed in the wrong places against the manufacturer's specifications. I also want to talk about the sustainability, right? This is a concrete product and this is a wood product. Making sure stuff is Minnesota made and making sure our money is going locally. So those are some big things that helped us choose the direction of using LP SmartSide and promoting that a lot more. Obviously, this video is biased.
And I'm glad he said it. And thank you, Josh, for being honest. This video is biased. So almost all the videos I've seen promoting LP. People who promote LP, they say how it's good for them. It's your house. It's a big investment. Don't do what's good for the builder. I see this huge trend where builders make these quick decisions. You know, they cannot find crews to install James Hardie, so they switch to vinyl or LP SmartSide because it's easier, it's faster, and they start installing crap. I want to show you a couple videos real quick about problems what these guys will never show you. The first one is actually comes from painting company, Webfoot Painting, and says common issues with LP siding and how to treat them.
Now, if you're not familiar with LP siding, it stands for Louisiana Pacific Siding. So it's a company that made siding. It was really popular in the 90s, had very large manufacturer issues.
It's a painter. So ask a painter because LP SmartSide sells majority of its product primed, and you have to either paint it yourself, or they do have painted partners, but they wouldn't do it themselves.
Within it, that holds it all together, starts to break down, and the lower lap edge starts to expand, starts taking on water, and then if you're in a very wet area, can lead to like mushrooms and mildew and mold kind of growing in this area, and it just disintegrates. This is where it starts to fail, and I want to be able to look up and see no cracks or voids in the siding. That is the siding starting to break down.
This is what you're getting in. This is very reasonable. LP did not fail yet, but obviously this painter is getting paid. So Someone installed it because it was easier for them, but then a couple years later, you have to hire a painter before it all failed. The video is made in 2016, so this was installed in 2008, and 8 years. So LP tells you that, hey, it will last lifetime warranty or 50 years. Look at the condition of this job.
And you can just see that there's no evidence way that water got into these areas. Okay, there's a nice little one right there. That's just the bottom of the panel. So there's not even any seams up above it that could have let that in, but just the natural flow of water adhering to the siding as it comes in underneath it right here.
I want to end this with one of the most trusted builders in the country, Matt Reisinger. Last year I have a privilege to interview Matt Reisinger, and I asked him, he's a high-end builder, well known on YouTube, and people love his expertise. He's very thorough. He's in Texas. He installed James Hardy all his life. He installed LP as well. You can see it on his channel. He reviewed them even recently. He did a fire test in a recent job. But here's how he answered the question. What's your favorite siding brand? Metal for roofing, for siding. Are you James Hardy? Are you LP? Are you something else?
I'm a James Hardy fan.
James
I've
Hardy.
used it for 20 plus years now.
Love it.
And had really, really good success with it. I really like durable materials. Not to rag on that first brand that you said with the 2 letters, but if I look at siding and see the back of it looks like an oriented strand board piece of sheathing, do I really want to put that on my house and just put a coat of paint on it? It just doesn't make sense to me. And I know they've done a bunch of testing and there's lots of builders that like it, and I've seen the YouTube videos, but you know what? If you were to douse that in a bucket of water for a week, what do you think would happen? Do you think it would swell?
You heard it from Matt himself, and I don't want you to think that I absolutely hate LP SmartSide. There's many applications where it can be installed. I can install it on my house or my property if I have to, but I have to be realistic with expectations. LP SmartSide, kudos to you for improving your product. Your product today is way better than it was 20 years ago. But your warranty still have a lot of holes. Your marketing game is, and you comparing yourself to James Hardy on your website in every video and keep buying all the influencers, it's just not real to me. There's a lot of bias, there's a lot of bad tips and information, and I'm not sold. Comment below what you think. If you're LP fan, give it a like. If you're James Hardy or another brand, another product, give a dislike. Comment below if you disagree with me. I read all my comments and I will reply. Please keep it professional. I know I picked on few guys and I apologize. I apologize to Josh, I apologize to other installers, but I have to. When I see bias, I'm gonna call it out. And if you see bias on my channel, I want you to call me out publicly as well. It'll make us all better, it'll make our industry better. Thank you guys so much for coming. This was a hard video for me to make, but I had to do it because I couldn't sleep after watching all of those videos. Love you all, see you in a new video.